Hey guys, welcome to my vlogcast. My name is Adaure. It's great to have you join me on this edition, and I'm so excited to be going on this journey with you, and I know that you will stick around. We're going to have a very interesting time on this with very colorful commentary, but the main purpose for this is to share stories and build relationships, and along the way, inspire. My main aim, of course, is to put out sprinkles of positivity there so that you can have a wonderful day and also learn from the things that we share on this vlogcast. So my subject today is something that I've been trying to tackle for the longest time, and by just starting this vlog, I've already started tackling it, and it is taking down fear. Taking down my fear of being criticized, my fear of being judged, fear of being, just the fear of just not sounding like I know what I'm talking about, or sounding smart, or sounding intelligent. Like, just the fear of just putting myself out there on the chopping block for the public. That's been one of my biggest fears. Like, I'm very comfortable with my microphone and my notepad and my camera turned the other way to other people, having them tell me their stories and never being the subject of the focus. And it's just a new space right now because, when you're in between jobs, or, as I am, you're trying to find other passions and find other skill sets. And here we are. One of my passions is talking to people and helping them out through their challenges. And that's something that I build up through my working days as a reporter. When I meet people who are subjects of my stories, after the camera stops rolling, I have a conversation with them about their situations, and I proffer solutions for them. But on a bigger scale, I've been able to talk myself out of those fears, and I started this new journey of vlogging. So that's what this is about. It's also part of that process. And I know there are many people out there who are afraid of doing something. You're just afraid of starting something. This is for you. You can do it. The real challenge is in acknowledging that fear and understanding how it affects you, and then tackling it. Because sometimes these fears are imaginary things that don't really exist. I mean, the psychologists themselves have said it. They came up with the acronym for fear: false evidence appearing real. False evidence. How can evidence be false? Well, I guess in a way, if you're in the court and somebody tells a lie, then it's kind of like, I guess that's false witnessing. But you get the picture. It's basically like things that don't exist that we have probably created in our heads, and they now form a basis for us to judge what we do in our own real lives. And that's not healthy at all. In fact, that's going to limit you. So I want to share some steps, 5 steps of 5 things that you can do to take down fear. I know a lot of people talk about, just doing it, just doing it. It's not just about just doing it. That's not the only thing that you require to take down your fear. It is a big part of it, but honestly, you can't just do if you don't understand how your fear and, how it affects you and affects everything else around you. That would be foolish. All right, so the first thing to do, of course, is to acknowledge and confront that fear. What is it that you're afraid of? How does it affect you? Why does it affect you? I mean, if you think about it, there's so many things that people are afraid of on this earth. I mean, in the US, for example, the top fear of terrorism, and that's valid because, you don't want to be blown up in the sky when you're traveling or when you're trying to have coffee. You don't want that. So of course there's a paranoia about that. But honestly, you can't really control that. You don't, I mean, it's sad. It's a sad and unfortunate thing that this world has become like that, where you can't just walk down the road and not be looking over your shoulder or judging the other person who's coming from across the street. It's a sad situation that we live in this world now, but it's the reality. And so because there's that reality, will that mean that you're not going to leave your house and go to the grocery store or go to the cafe? That's unrealistic. In fact, if you do that, you're giving in to the terrorists, because that's really what they want. They want to make you afraid. Now, let's talk about the other extreme side of it, the fear of flying. A lot of people are afraid of flying because it also comes back to the fear of terrorism, fear of heights and all of that. So when you look at it, like, when I'm in a plane, okay, like, I don't want to worry about those things. Let me deal with my bowel movement as a first issue that I have to experience when I'm flying. Like, can that be the only thing that I'll be afraid of? But would you say then that because of that and those other things, you're not going to want to see the world? You don't want to go places? That's how paralyzing fear can be. You got people who are afraid of spiders and roaches. Roaches I can understand. Like, the spiders, I mean, in the past, yeah, you swept the spiders, and the roaches, you get a broom and touch it. I know how to handle the roaches now. Roaches I will kill with my slipper and my broom. Spiders now, I understand they're harmless, unless they bite you. So I just let them out now. But really, those are the kinds of fears that people have. You have the fear of height, death, failure, like violence, all those things. Those are valid fears too. But are you going to let that stop you from living? So you have to understand and acknowledge what those fears are and how they affect you, and then confront them. The second thing to do is to control and rechannel your thinking. Steer away from the negative aspect of what you're afraid of. Start thinking about the positive angle. Or better yet, think about the end result. If you do something that, let's say you're afraid of doing something, think about the end result before thinking about the process that you're so afraid of. Think about the end result. The end result, of course, is the goal, the positive part of it, what's that word now? The prize. They say keep your eye on the prize. Well, think about the prize. And that would help you rechannel and control the way you think about that thing that you're afraid of, or that thing that you want to tackle, that you're so scared of venturing into. If you want to start a business, don't think about how difficult and challenging that business is going to be. Think about how successful you could be at the business. Think about the profit margin that you could get from that business. Don't worry about the process. The process is what it is. You will get there eventually. But for now, we just want you to be able to overcome the thinking that prevents you from even moving. If you don't deal with that, you're never going to move from that spot. The third and very important part of this whole thing, of course, is to activate that plan and just do it. Don't wait for everything to fall into place. You're never going to have enough research. You're never going to have enough advice. You're never going to even have enough time. So just start now. Just do it. Activate that plan and just go. Roll with the punches. If you fail, you fail. Nobody ever died from failure. If your business, of course, if, that may not be very true, but you get my point. Just do it. The whole point is just do it and activate that plan. If you want to be a vlogger, just hit record, start talking. If you want to be a writer, get yourself a journal, start writing. If you want to be anything, just activate the plan. Start by talking to people. Fourth, everybody is afraid, so it's okay to be afraid. You are not the only one. Oh my gosh, If I tell you the things that I'm afraid of, you would be laughing the whole day. Everybody's just afraid of something. Like, I'm going to have to do another vlog on all the things that I'm afraid of. But yeah, everybody's afraid. It's natural. Everybody is afraid. So look out for people who share the same fears as you. And maybe you can both support each other. Once you find that you find a support group of people with the same fears and the same concerns, you can help each other out. Maybe find the people who have already experienced that fear and have moved on from it. They've taken the fear down. Find those people, find a support group, and build from there. And finally, what's the worst that can happen? It's not going to kill you. Whatever it here. I'm going to put a caveat here. If you're afraid of trains, okay, don't be foolish in trying to take down the fear. Like, don't go stand in front of a train track and be like, oh, train, I'm taking you down. I am challenging my fear. And then you go stand in front of a train. You will die. They will kill you. That's a foolish way to do it. Get on the train and travel somewhere. Go somewhere. That's how you take down the fear. That's how you take down that fear. That's how you challenge that one. So don't be foolish in tackling your fears, because foolishness sometimes will kill you. But understand that the fear of starting a business, start the business. If you fail, so what? People fail. Businesses fail. What you do is you pick yourself back up and you keep rolling. Your fear will not kill you unless you allow it to. So we're going to go back through our tips. Acknowledge and confront your fear. Control and rechannel your thought process to think about the positive end result that you hope to achieve. Just do it and activate your plan. Know that it is okay to be afraid, but in that knowledge, find other people that you can build strength from. And finally, it is not going to kill you. What's the worst that can happen? So send me a note. Tell me about the things that you've been afraid of that you've been able to take down. Or tell me about the things that you're afraid of that you're finding hard to take down. And let's talk about it. Let's share our stories. Let's build a relationship and a connection. And also along the process, inspire each other. My name is Adaure. Until next time, stay blessed.